faceoff. We apologize for some audio problems we've had right off the bat here in Los Angeles. You saw the starting goaltenders. And the officials. His shot is just wide of Patrick Law. Carbonneau starts it back for the Canadiens. He's checked by Mike Allison. Step on reach in. Corson. Carbonneau's shot is deflected away by Czech foreign defenseman Peter Bracelet. Mike Allison on right wing with a pass to Mike Krushelnyski. Krushelnyski with a shot is deflected by Chris Chelios over the glass and into the crowd.
Well, Rick, we're taking a look right now with Wayne Gretzky. They moved Mike Allison on the right side. He's been there a little bit this year. I expected to see Dave Taylor on the left and maybe Mike Krushelnyski playing the off wing, which we've seen many times last year and at the start of this year, at least in training camp. We'll have to see how this works. I think the method behind Coach Tom Webster's idea here is to develop two good lines here in Los Angeles so they cannot just key on one, cannot key on Wayne Gretzky, and in effect stop their hockey club. So that gives a little bit more room for Bernie Nichols to assume the offensive role that he can really fulfill.
And the Kings are not a team that relies a lot on balance. They have incredible talent in the case of some players. Here's a shot by Bernie Nichols. A save by Waugh. As we have a flurry around the Montreal net and the whistle blows. We apologize for some audio problems we've been having. No score. We've played 1 minute and 11 seconds of the first period here at the Great Western Forum. You're watching the NHL on Sports Channel America. As we look at Mario Gosselin, we apologize for some audio problems we were having right off the top here as the Canadiens and the Kings get set for the draw. It's Ryan Walter in there for the faceoff against Bernie Nichols. And the Kings gain control. There's a shot by Tim Waters. It's blocked by Mike Keane. The Kings keep it in the zone. The veteran Walter, now in his 12th season in the NHL, comes up with a steal, and he'll play it out to center. Steve Duchesne is paired with Tim Waters on the Kings defense as Water lobs it in, and Waugh leaves it for Peter Svoboda. The Kings trying to get the forechecking going. Cutting in front, Dave Taylor with a shot, and it's tipped away by Walter. Peter Svoboda with a pass to Shane Corson. And he hands it away to Taylor. Here's Luke Robitaille starting it in for the Kings. Lets the shot go, and it's deflected over the glass by Sylvain Lefebvre and out of play.
I think this first 20 minutes, Rick, is going to tell an awful lot how the outcome of this game goes. Again, it's very important for Los Angeles to get into the flow and the tempo that they showed last year and in training camp by and large. A high, quick style of game, a quick transitional type of a game. And again, there's the old thing, there's the hewers of wood and carriers of water. Let the offense take care of itself. Let the checkers, especially Stevie Kasper and his line, do the checking, and they're going to be all right. But they've got to get up and get a little rhythm into the game.
Kasper's out there with a newly formed combination. John Tonelli and Bob Kudelski are on the wings. Here's a pass that's deflected into the LA zone. Jocelyn Lemieux reaches for it. He's bumped in there. Kasper checked by Bobby Smith. Matt Naslund works it free to Smith. Smith throws it toward the net. Tom Laidlaw broke up the pass. Kasper drops it back to Marty McSorley. Smith keeps an eye on him. McSorley, who's played a lot of forward so far this season, on the back line tonight as Laidlaw has to reach for the puck. The pass is knocked down by Donald Dufresne. Bob Kudelski in there battling for it, and the puck comes free to John Tonelli. Tonelli held up in front of the shot, and a save by Waugh as Steve Kasper came up with that loose puck. Waugh was reaching for it, but he couldn't gain control. Smith couldn't handle the pass. Wayne Gretzky's on the ice for the Kings. Preisler with a pass in for Tonelli. It's whistled down by Brad Lazarowicz. Offside. 17:06 remaining here in the first period. No score. You're watching the NHL on Sports Channel America. Here's the mix-up around the Montreal net.
Well, this is one of the things that LA would like to get, just that early break in this type of game, and Stevie Casper had a great save, but LA's got the work cut out against Patrick Waugh, one of the better goalkeepers in the National Hockey League.
And he's won 5 straight, allowing only 7 goals in the process. Russ Courtnall steals a pass. He can't work it in front. Now tries to slip it into the slot area. Preisler gets it out to Gretzky. Gretzky is joined by Mike Allison on the rush. 4 Canadians are back defensively, though. Guy Carbonneau turns the play around for Montreal. Carbonneau waits, shoots, and it's tipped by Robinson, his old teammate, up into the crowd.
So, Rickard, one thing you just said, let me play off of what you said. 4 Canadians back. If they see any opportunities, they're going to go to the defensive posture, in that offensive zone. They don't like to get leaning the other way. So he'll be saying, 4 Canadians back, 4 Canadians back. That's pretty much their style of game. They like to just forecheck one guy. The other 4 are showing to prevent defensive type of thing. That's their stature. They'll open up a little bit more at home, but they're really a tight checking team on the road.
And the Kings gain control. It's Tim Waters, the former Winnipeg Jet. Handing it to Gretzky. Gretzky comes in with 32 points. He leads the NHL in scoring, as we'll get a penalty called against Ed Christopoli as he'll go to the box. 16:18 remaining here in the first period. No score.
Look at the Montreal Canadian rookie, Eddie Christopoli, out of Denver University. 8th round draft choice back a few years ago. Sometimes I wonder if the referee would call the questionable penalty like that, Rick, against one of the veteran hockey players.
Well, Christopoli will sit it out. Here's a shot by Duchesne. It's blocked by Guy Carbonneau, and the carom comes back to center. Now the Kings in the power play rank second in the NHL, almost 28% efficiency, as Wayne Gretzky gets the puck, slips it to Krushelnyski. Kings also have Tonelli, Nichols, and Duchesne on the ice. Here's Nichols, the one-timer, and it's gloved by Patrick Waugh. He had a clear view of that, and he'll hang on.
Rick, on the other side of that coin, we got to talk about Montreal and their penalty-killing unit. They're aggressive, they're good. They're 8th in the National Hockey League. And one thing the fans will watch on television tonight, watch how Montreal will attack every loose puck. Watch how they'll attack a shot on net. Here, the Montreal defenseman got lost a little bit. They want to move people away so Patrick Waugh can see that puck. And Montreal plays off one another very well. They rotate their defensive forward very well, and they attack within reason.
Canadians gain control, and Norris Trophy winner Chris Chelios with a pass to Ryan Walter. He'll play it down the ice. And Herb, the Canadians certainly had a lot of adjustments to make, working in young defensemen with Robinson leaving, Rick Green, Bob Gainey up front. But they seem to have made those adjustments.
Well, yes, they're depending an awful lot on Chris Chelios, Craig Ledwig, and Peter Svoboda, and then they rotate the other 3 to 4 rookies in those other couple spots.
Guy Carbonneau comes up with it, and he'll play it down the ice. A minute remaining on Christopoli's penalty. No score here in the first period, just over 15 minutes remaining as the Kings try to get something organized in this power play. Gretzky waits for the puck to reach him. He's watched by youngster Brent Gilchrist. Pass out in front, and it's blocked by Chelios. The puck squirts free to Gilchrist. He starts it to Mike Keane. The pass is deflected. Gilchrist gets there, can't get a shot away. The puck rolls wide, and the Kings furiously try to gain control. 26 seconds remaining in the power play. Luc Robitaille hands it to Gretzky. Trying to drop it back, but the play was whistled down offside.
Luc Robitaille tried to stay on side, drag his foot. He should have either stopped or just came along parallel to the line and straddled the line. Anytime Gretzky gets the puck and he's sort of unchecked, you just don't want to go offside. Let him set the play. Let him set the tempo. Get a look here at Super Copter in Montreal, they call him, Rick.
Matt Burns, he's trying to beat his old boss here. Of course, Burns coached in junior hockey in Hull, Quebec. The junior team there was owned by Wayne Gretzky.
When I say Super Cop, I guess we should explain the fact that he's a ex-policeman in the city of Montreal.
That's right, he was a detective for many years. 10 seconds to go, the Montreal penalty to Christopoli. Luc Robitaille checked by Donald Dufresne. The pass comes around to Wayne Gretzky. And the Canadiens will calmly play it out to center as the penalty has expired. Dave Taylor got a step around Dufresne. Does. He's checked by Ryan Walter. Taylor stays with the play. The pass is picked off by Chelios. Chris Chelios. He'll just lob it in. The Canadiens will change up. Mario Gosselin turns it around for 18-year veteran Larry Robinson, facing his old club for the first time. Going to be a strange sight playing against the red, white, and blue.
I wonder if he went to the right locker room when he first came into the arena, Rick.
He'll be our first intermission guest tonight, so we'll look forward to getting his impressions of a period against his old team. Here's Steve Kasper. He'll shoot it in. Tonelli heads for the boards to battle for it. Dug away by Kudelski. He hands it to Kasper. Tonelli golfs it just wide of Patrick Waugh. Now we got Tonelli taking down Stephane Lebeau, and we'll have a penalty against the Kings with Tonelli going off.
Tommy Webster getting a few extra gray hairs, Rick.
And the season's just begun.
Yeah, he'll do a fine job here in Los Angeles. He had the flu bug the other night that couldn't return for that second period.
He's had a successful coaching career in the minor leagues and also in amateur hockey. Coaching in juniors in Canada, won a couple of championships in the American League and the Central Hockey League. And we get a whistle, and an intentional offside against Montreal will bring the face-off all the way back to the LA zone as we look at Shane Corson, who leads the Canadiens with 8 goals.
And one of the great checkers, he's starting to come along as an offensive hockey player. He's gained his spurs here in Montreal. First of all, you have to learn how to check before you're going to start thinking about trying to put a few pucks away. He sort of personifies the new young wave here in Montreal as just those very tenacious, hard-nosed forwards.
Stephane Lebeau pulls the puck back to Peter Svoboda. A minute and a half remaining on Montreal's power play opportunity. The Canadiens 17th best in the league, just over 16% efficiency on the power play. The Kings have been no great shakes short-handed. They're 18th best, 72% or just under on their efficiency killing the penalties. As Peter Svoboda hands the puck to Lebeau. Pass it front to Corson, and Gosselin got his stick on that try. Waters had it taken away by Stephane Richer. His pass is off Gretzky's stick and deflects back.
Last year they used Stephane Richer a lot on the right point, playing defense with that big shot he has. Now I see they got him as a forward. And I don't know if they maximize his ability. And his main asset as a hockey player is the ability to shoot the puck. And I don't know if they have it there amongst the other defensemen, Rick. And I think maybe they'll move him back as this game goes on.
Richer is held up by Waters. And Hubie McDonough backhands the puck down the ice with 31 seconds to go in the penalty.
We talked a little bit earlier. A question tonight. Does LA play a little bit more of a physical game against Montreal because the fact that they're not a very good team on the power play? At 16%, 17th in the league, maybe LA feels they can dress a little bit more physical lineup and take some liberties at them.
Well, they do have people like Kent Baumgartner and Marty McSorley in that Los Angeles lineup. We'll wait and see as the time winds down on the Tonelli holding penalty. McSorley works the puck away to Bernie Nichols. We still have no score as Tonelli leaves the penalty box. 11:13 to go in the opening period. Chris Chelios hounded by Luc Robitaille, and Mats Naslund takes over. Naslund is off to a slow start offensively with 4 goals. The pass to Bobby Smith. Chrysler takes his man to the boards, Ryan Walter. Chrysler continues to work those boards. Robinson takes control behind the net and clears the zone. We have a penalty upcoming, and it will be against the Montreal Canadiens. Mike Keane will go to the box. 10:41 remaining here in the first period. No score.
Sort of, as you said, Rick, sort of an uncharacteristic penalty in Montreal. They don't like to take the retaliatory penalty, and there it is. It took offense a little bit to have that check Peter Chrysler, holding him, roughing him, being a little aggressive against him in the boards. Mike Keane made this hockey club on his aggressiveness. Here's a free agent that he signed a few years ago. He had a pretty good year last year, his rookie year in the National Hockey League with 16 goals. Noted for more of his defensive style of play than his ability to do things offensively.
And the crowd here at the Forum certainly enjoyed Preisler's strong physical play along the boards. That's something that the Kings would like to see more of from him. And the Kings have a power play chance. Their second opportunity. The puck got away from Waugh, but it's slapped free by Craig Ludwig. Gretzky had it taken away. Kings keep it in. Gretzky feeds it back to Steve Duchesne. Fakes the shot. Duchesne fires. Glove by Patrick Waugh, and he'll hang on.
Patrick Waugh is an imposing goalkeeper. When he's on his game, you're going to see him time his drops. He goes into the V a lot. And sometimes when he's doing this, he's sort of, well, maybe giving the upper corners, opening that thing up a little bit, even though he's got good size. And here's the guy along with his partner. They led the National Hockey League in goals against the last 3 years to win the Jennings Trophy. But he likes to go down in the V. But he gets down and up very good. And if anything, you can see when he's struggling, if he's down early, that's just a little telltale sign that he might have a long night.
Gretzky gets a hold of the puck, leads it for Tonelli. Gretzky deflects the pass, but it bounced away to Walter. Canadians take their time in sending the Kings back. E. Carbonneau lets it go, and a stick save by Mario Gosselin. 1:08 remaining on the penalty to Keene for the slash. No score, 9:45 left in the first period. Nichols drives the puck in, and it skimmed off the kick play to the boards and over the glass and out of play. And Herb, certainly if the Kings want that early start, they've got to take advantage as we look at Larry Robinson of the power play where they are so strong.
There's no question the LA's power play's got to click and click early. Look at Larry Robinson here. What we're seeing in Larry Robinson, you just can't talk about all the things he has done as a hockey player in the National Hockey League. Basically, we're seeing a Hall of Famer play right now. And what he has done for this hockey club more than anything else is the ability to add a little bit more maturity to the hockey club. And even though they're a mature hockey club, but he gives those people a sense of confidence and a sense of focus. And that's what he's bringing to the table.
Well, he helps you certainly in the defensive zone, and he's added something on the power play situations, too. They had most of this talent last year, but only ranked 11th best in the league on the power play. So he's had to have added something offensively in these situations for the Kings with 11 assists. Here's Taylor with a pass to Gretzky, and as the net is knocked away from the Magnets, we get a whistle. Rob Schick halts play with 31 seconds remaining, and Gretzky's calling for a delay of game penalty against Ludwig for backing into the net.
That's a good smile on Wayne Gretzky. He wasn't smiling the other night when he walked out of the building. He was very down. He had a little touch that flu, but he had 3 points, and he just fights off those things. This is a guy that doesn't have a quitting down. If I can use a football term on this thing, Rick, he doesn't quit. He'll go right through the game. Football coach says they measure the benchmarks they look at. What's his quitting down? This guy doesn't have one. He's transcended the fact that I think he's the world's greatest hockey player just by all the things he does. Like he's just an unbelievable athlete.
And still, despite having a touch of the flu, played 38 minutes against the Flames on Wednesday. Guess he was taking the night off, huh? He played over 40 minutes Sunday against Buffalo.
Not only that, the minutes that he plays is what he accomplishes and how he brings everybody else to another level of play. His intensity is just amazing.
Here's Bernie Nichols. It's the pass to Gretzky. He's Luke Robitaille scores! Luke Robitaille deflects home the pass. A power play goal has put LA on top.
Charlie Gretzky looked to the point. He got everybody looking away. It looks like that from this vantage point anyway. And Robitaille goes to the net, and he does it very well. Not a great physical specimen, but he's got some great hands. Watch here now. Montreal has got to get somebody to come back and pick up Robitaille. Their weak side, atypical Montreal, but their whole right side got up too high. Left the 2-on-1 on the defenseman, Craig Ludwig. And Gretzky saw it and waited for Robitaille to get there. And Chelios was long gone. He was leaning the wrong way, Rick. And Robitaille just deflected a tremendous pass by Wayne Gretzky.
Robitaille's ninth at 11:07. 7 of those goals have come with a man advantage. Gretzky and Nichols assist on the goal. Here's Stéphane Richer and a steal for Montreal as the Canadiens are down 1-0. Svoboda's the late man, hangs on to it. Fires it off the side of the goal. Richer reaches for the puck. Corson feeds it back to the fade. Shooting, and Gosselin kicked that away. Bob Kanelski lifts the puck to center. For the Kings, as just as they wanted to do, get the lead here in the first period on a power play goal as the puck skims off of Richet's stick over the glass and out of play. 8:04 left here in period one. The Kings lead it 1-0. You're watching the NHL and Sports Channel America.
Let me switch the train of thought. Look at the gold in those fingers.
Well, the souvenir puck ends up near him. You better believe I wouldn't be jumping in there for it.
Yeah.
You can have it.
Well, I tell you, we saw Stallone here the other night. Saw Mr. T here. Well, I tell you, nobody's going to argue with him about excess jewelry. At least I'm not, anyway. Yeah. I prefer Sylvester Stallone myself because he's always got a real and interesting companion, Rick.
He certainly does. From the drop, Chrysler with a shot that's wide. The puck bounces to Christopoli. Christopoli brought up from Sherbrooke of the American Hockey League. Dumps it in. Chrysler gets back. And Baumgartner's on the wing. Jay Miller, another tough player in the LA lineup as the Kings try to get some pressure going in that Montreal zone. Miller takes his man out. Baumgartner's pass is knocked down by Gilchrist. Miller's dumped. He gets up complaining to Schick. Baumgartner takes a shot at Gilchrist. Will have a penalty to Baumgartner with the Kings control as Chrysler dumps Christopoli in that corner. And the Kings do gain control, and Baumgartner is being thumbed to the penalty box.
Well, this is the type of start that LA wants. We talked about, will they be a little more physical tonight? I think so, for the reasons we mentioned. Montreal is not a real imposing team of the power play, but also they're a frustrated hockey club. They're out of sync. They just got to spit that poison out of them. And the way you're going to do it is just get involved physically, get in some of the mucking, get in some of the traffic, maybe get your nose dirty a little bit here this evening. And that's what I've seen in LA's play this evening. We saw them a little bit more of a counter-punching team against Calgary. Maybe they're a little scared of Calgary. Here at Montreal said, we're going to play our game. We're going to take it at them and be physical. They've been impressive so far in this first period. Marty McSorley, he'll take that extra run on you. No question about it. That's what he's out there for. He's not going to kill you with a lot of fancy play. But again, you got to have those role players. Some of those people give you a certain presence. Let some of the skilled people, do their thing. Give them some room and some confidence to execute. Plenty of room in the game for the physical players like Kenny Baumgartner. He hasn't seen a lot of ice time this year. When he's out there, you'll know it.
And the Canadiens found out about him quickly. He goes for roughing, and the Canadiens have the man advantage. Baumgartner, a defenseman by trade, was playing on left wing. The Canadiens are forced to start at center. And this is a situation, Herb, where the Kings certainly are not a club to go on to the offensive. They can attack you here.
Well, yeah, especially when you see a Gretzky and a Nichols out there. They'll try to score some goals. Gretzky, he'll look for the chance depending upon who he's out there with. And anytime his teammates touch it, you look for him to jump into the holes. Nichols will go with him. Mike Allison out here right now. He'll probably stay home and be a little bit more of a defensive outlet for him.
Gretzky bothered by Naslund. Walter shovels it along. Gretzky has it. Gets it away from Bobby Smith. McSorley and Mike Allison are with him. Gretzky circles back, and he has Waters coming off the LA bench. Now McSorley looks for Gretzky again with just about a minute remaining on the penalty to Baumgartner for roughing. And the Kings are doing an excellent job of playing keep away against the Canadiens as Casper finally backhands the puck down the ice.
Well, they've got a good snap to their game this evening.
Chelios with a pass for rookie Stephane Lebeau. He was taken out effectively. And the Kings trying to spring an attack shorthanded, but they're thwarted as Shane Corson cuts in. He tries to turn away from Waters. Leaves it for Richet. Down goes Corson. Richet slips it to LeBeau. Corson's parked in front with Robinson. The pass is picked off by McDonough. He pushes it to Casper. 20 seconds to go on the penalty. Casper starts it in against J.J. Daigneault. Casper keeps going. Drops it back to Gretzky. And Richer gets it back for the Canadiens. Only 7 seconds left of the penalty. The drive by Richer is wide. The puck rolls down the back of the goal, and it's played away by Robinson. Baumgartner's out of the box. The Kings have taken care of both Montreal power plays, and LeBeau is stopped by Gosselin at the side of the goal. The puck is kicked free for Gretzky. Looks across to Robinson. A 38-year-old defenseman, as Herb says, a surefire Hall of Famer. Krushelnyski starts it into Gretzky. Back to Krushelnyski, and Corson reached out to tip the pass. Krushelnyski's pass comes all the way to center. Steve Duchesne is there. As the Kings get back on side, Krushelnyski is held up by the Montreal defense. And Duchesne takes it once again, watched by Christoffoli. And Christoffoli's pass stolen by the dangerous Bernie Nichols. Back to Gretzky. Duchesne, quick shot. He scores! It's 2-0 Kings.
That's the type of start that LA needs. And when we look at this replay, you're going to see one guy here that caused the whole thing, and I don't know if he's going to get any points, but watch Mike Krushelnyski go to the net and effectively screen Patrick Roy. Nobody picked him up. So when you go to the net, someone's got to grab him. Chelios has got to move to him right now. Right now, Chelios, you wait, and it's too late. Chelios, he came too late, and all of a sudden, just enough, Krushelnyski sees the presence. Gretzky to Duchesne, go to the net, take the sight lines away from the goalkeeper. Nice play by Mike Krushelnyski.
Krushelnyski on the deflection, makes it 2-0. Duchesne and Gretzky will get the assists. Gretzky now with 34 points on the top of the scoring heap in the NHL. 3:39 remaining here in the first period, of the Kings have the 2-0 lead. Here's Ludwig, back to Mike Keane. Keane dropping it for Mats Naslund. He draws the attention of checking ace Steve Kasper, and Duchesne lobs it down the ice.
Rick, as this game unfolds, there's going to be one guy that I think is just going to have that extraordinary type of game, and that's Gosselin in the net for Los Angeles. And maybe we can get time to talk about that a little bit later. Let's see if we can figure out why Tommy Webster started him this evening.
Bob Kanelski hits Nichols on the move. Lets the drive go long on a stick on it. The puck comes down to Smith. Smith gave it up to Bob Kanelski. Naslund scoops it up. Cuts it on Laidlaw, hangs onto it. He's bumped by Nichols. Svoboda overskated the puck. Nichols with a great effort to get it to Luc Robitaille. Two Kings are with him. Here's Kanelski shooting, a save by Waugh. Marty McSorley across to Gretzky. That's the drive goal. Svoboda blocked it. It looked like he took that in the chest, and Gretzky swings and misses on his second try. Smith wants to slow things down, and we get a whistle and a holding penalty upcoming against Sylvain Lefebvre. 2-0. The Kings are in front, and it will be Svoboda going off for the penalty. In any case, the Kings get their third power play chance.
Peter Svoboda, not an offensive defenseman, former first-round draft choice of Montreal, out of Czechoslovakia. Not a big guy, very slender guy, but for an offensive defenseman, he doesn't put a lot of points on the board. He got handcuffed on that puck coming off the boards, and he just reached in and grabbed Bernie Nichols. But again, his game has got to be quickness. His game has got to be moving the puck, playing a little give and go, lugging the puck, shooting the puck. But surprisingly, if you look at the stats he's had in the National Hockey League, when you talk about Peter Svoboda, you'd think he'd have more offensive things going for him.
I'm sure Pat Burns and Jacques Laperriere, the coaching duo we saw a moment ago on the Montreal bench, would like to see more offense in general from the back line. Chelios has a couple of goals, Svoboda 2, and Lefebvre has 1. That's only 5 goals from their defense. Here's Robitaille. And for Nichols, he's muscled out of there by Ludwig, and Chelios controls over, skates the puck, but reaches back for it. Chrysler has it. He is paired with Robinson behind Robitaille, Nichols, and Gretzky. Kings scored on their last power play chance, the game-opening goal by Luc Robitaille as he converted on Gretzky's pass. Krushelnyski has made it 2-0. We're in the late going here of the first period. Robinson is open. Walks in. Wrist shot is just fired wide. Ryan Walter digs along the boards. Kings keep it in deep. Ludwig slaps it away. And the Kings have to go back with a minute remaining on the Peter Svoboda holding call. Robinson.
Let me repeat, Rick, I just like LA's posture this evening. I've been watching them quite a bit this year. But tonight they look like a hungry, motivated hockey club.
They're anxious to break a 4-game losing streak overall and also a 4-game losing streak here at home. They're only 2-5 on home ice so far this season. Gilchrist steals the puck and he'll send it in behind the net with a minute to go in the first period. Robinson hits Gretzky with a pass. Gretzky watched by Keane. Also Dufresne. Gretzky fires in front. It's off Waugh's pads. Laidlaw sends it in deep. Kelly goes back for it. We've got a penalty upcoming against the Kings. Delayed call as Waugh tries to make his way to the bench. And the Kings take their time in touching the puck. Finally, Laidlaw does. And Rob Schick has a penalty called against LA with 4 seconds left on the penalty. 27 left on the clock in the first period.
Mike Krushelnyski took exception to the young rookie Dufresne. Donnie Dufresne handling him in front, and then he just skated or pivot around. He went right at him, cross-checked him right across the face. Donnie Dufresne, 22 years old, with only 13 games experience of the National Hockey League, spending a couple years in Sherbrooke in the American League. And I don't think this is, Tommy Webster talked about this before the game. We got to play the clock and we've got to control some emotions. And if we have to turn the cheek a little bit, we have to do that. But we just can't get stupid penalties. That's the type of thing that Tom Webster is referring to. And I think that he'll address that. You don't want to lose your aggressiveness. You don't want to just be pushed around. We understand those sort of things. But there's a time for it and a time to take it. And all of a sudden you take yourself out of the power play. Well, it was almost done. But more importantly, you give Montreal a chance to get back into this game right now or at the first part of that second period.
There's a fine line between, as you say, losing that aggressiveness and staying away from the bad retaliatory penalties. As Casper wins that draw, McSorley sends it to Gretzky, and the Canadiens are back to full strength. Kings down a man, 18 seconds to go in the period. Here's the pass in for Gretzky. He fell down, and Daigneault takes over, looks at the clock, makes the pass to Walter. He's shouldered to the boards by Casper. Chelios rushes to the point, and Gretzky knocked it away from Richer. He waits for the horn to end the period, and it sounds as Chelios and Casper bump a little bit. Gretzky's on his way to the dressing room. Mario Gosselin didn't see a whole lot of action around his net in the first period. Let's check the scoring plays for the Kings. A power play goal change for the Kings with Krushelnyski playing. Mario Gosselin starts in goal tonight, and he hasn't started in 9 days.
Well, it was a good choice by Coach Tommy Webster. Mario beat Montreal a couple times last year, and let's just face it, this is going back into the province of Quebec, throughout Canada, Hockey Night in Canada, and I really think that he's going to be a big factor as this game unfolds this evening.
Well, the Kings are short-handed as Krushelnyski's in the penalty box. 1:22 left on the penalty to him, as the Canadiens trying to get something going with a man advantage. The pass is stolen by Wayne Gretzky, and he'll backhand it down the ice. Patrick Waugh leads the puck for Peter Svoboda. Svoboda shoots it in. Gosselin slows it up. McSorley's over for it. Gets some help from Mike Allison. Tom Laidlaw lifts the puck down the ice as the Canadiens are having great difficulty in getting anything set up here with 45 seconds remaining on Krushelnyski's penalty. Stephane Lebeau, who got off to a red-hot start, but he's cooled off for the Canadiens lately with 1 assist in his last 8 games. He'll go in and challenge for the puck, and it comes free. Tim Waters takes his time as he comes to center. Drops it back to Steve Casper. Robinson and McDonough are the other penalty-killing forwards for the Kings as Russ Courtnall On the ice with Guy Carbonneau, Ryan Walter, Peter Svoboda, and Chris Chelios. As the play is whistled offside, 13 seconds remaining on the Montreal power play. This is their third opportunity as we look at the 9-year veteran, Tim Waters.
Well, Montreal doesn't look very sharp on the power play. They're just questioning one another. You can see their hesitance in their passing, people not jumping in the holes. They're just maybe a little unfamiliarity amongst those people. You'll see this at the start of the year, but the people they have on the power play, they're veterans. They should know one another. And I don't know, again, when your power play is not really working, Rick, don't get too fancy. Don't try to beat people down deep unless it's tipping and screening. And maybe they should just move that Stefan Richer back to the point and let him shoot the puck like very few people can.
Well, he's accumulated 50 goals in a season with that great shot of his. As the penalty's over, it's Carbonneau shooting, and a stick save by Gosselin. Krushelnyski sends the pass to Gretzky. Slips it by Allison. Donald Dufresne in his 17 games with a shoulder separation. He's on the ice on the Montreal defense. McSorley dumped by Ryan Walter. And we get a whistle for an icing called against the Kings. We've played 2:08 here in the second period. The Kings lead it. You're watching the NHL on Sports Channel America. One of the ways where Waugh has developed in the last couple of years, reading the play better. He's not just a reaction goaltender any longer. Ludwig leaves it for Chelios. Canadiens trying to get on the board here. They're down 2-0. We're in the early stages of period 2. Chelios with a pass to Shane Corson. Steps in against Preisler, drops it. LeBeau couldn't get the shot away as Allison held him up. Gretzky cruises back through center. Gets it back from Allison. But he had Tonelli with him. Preisler breaks up the rush, shoots a save, and the backhander is wide by Allison. Canadiens move it out to center, but Tonelli maintains control for Los Angeles. Peter Preisler having an impressive start in this game. Line pass back to Robinson. Shoots, and Waugh calmly gloves it, skates out to open ice, and he'll clear the zone himself. Patrick Waugh taking matters into his own hands.
Back to Peter Preisler, the young Czechoslovakian defenseman. Great offensive skills, typically European with his technical ability. They've given Larry Robinson the responsibility to get him to the National Hockey League, play each and every night.
Tonelli cuts in. As Kudelski waiting, the shot is stopped by Waugh. Patrick Waugh with some big stops in the second period, keeping it at 2-0. Gretzky back to McSorley, shoots toward the net, and the shot hit teammate Tonelli. McSorley keeps it in. Kudelski will chip it over the crossbar. Tonelli hustles after that loose puck, gets it to Gretzky. Going to stop it in front. Kudelski shoots, he scores!
Rick, I was just going to say, L.A. is winning those battles to the loose puck. They've been doing this since that opening faceoff, and they're a very hungry, motivated hockey club tonight. And Kudelski had a pretty good chance a little earlier, and he just couldn't get a stick on it. You could just see this thing coming. You could see it building for everybody working for one another, playing off one another, and the people away from the puck, breaking their checks, getting it to the open. And Kudelski's a story in himself, a rookie out of Yale. And again, he's got a big, heavy shot. A lot of people thought he couldn't play, but his coach at Yale, Timmy Taylor's really labored on behalf of Kudelski to get L.A. to sign him. Found himself wide open down deep. Didn't waste any time. Patrick Waugh had no chance.
Kudelski, the native of Springfield, Massachusetts, scores his 10th goal at 7:48. Gretzky assists along with John Tonelli, who worked very, very hard to help set up that goal. Gretzky has assisted in all 3 Los Angeles goals. L.A. is in front 3-0. Donald Dufresne had trouble turning. Here's Taylor, shoots, and Waugh got his shoulder on that backhander. Daniel battles with Taylor. Keane helps out back there, and Taylor prodded away. Nichols lifts it in front, and Smith was in position to steal. Nichols gets it back. Robitaille is well covered. Kings keep it in the zone. Taylor bumped by Dufresne, works the pass to Robitaille. Robitaille struggles against Bobby Smith. It's Bernie Nichols. The Kings keep the pressure on in this second period. They haven't wavered in their approach to this game since the opening faceoff. Here's Naslund. It's Smith cutting through. Robitaille stays with him. The pass is deflected through the goal mouth, and Taylor hands it to Steve Duchesne. He cuts it, lets it go, and Waugh makes the glove save. 10:41 remaining here in the second. The Kings have upped their lead to 3-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please turn to the Kings platform.
Look at Patrick Waugh, as you pointed out earlier, Conn Smythe winner, the MVP of the 1986 Stanley Cup playoff, as a rookie. There he is. He showed up tonight.
Yeah, who's with him?
I don't know. I don't think it's Mr. T, though. I'll tell you that. It'll be an improvement on Mr. T.
Here's Robinson, shoots a save by Waugh. He had to deal with traffic in front. Jay Miller was jamming the net with Ludwig. You're not a Mr. T fan, huh?
Oh, yeah, I like him. I just don't.
It's not your style of jewelry, huh?
Or hair, do, cut, whatever you want to say.
Here's Robinson.
But he's laughing all the way to the bank, I'll tell you that, Rick.
Isn't he, though? Hubie McDonough wrists it into the corner. Waugh gets trapped in there, but Chelios has the play under control. He slides it out to center ice, and former Canadian Larry Robinson intercepts. We're past the 10-minute mark of the second period. Big collision with Baumgartner and Jocelyn Lemieux at center, and we have a penalty upcoming against the Kings as Gosselin touches the puck, and we've got an interference call to Baumgartner. 3-0. The Kings are in front.
Some people say that Kenny Baumgartner's a loose cannon out there. But again, when you're going to take a penalty, you've got to pick your spots. All right, you're up. If it's a 2-0, that 2-0 lead is very hard to protect. But you get a little breathing room with 3, and maybe you can take that type of thing. But I'll tell you one thing: when he's on the ice, you know he's going to be there.
When he clobbered Lemieux at center ice, Courtnall shoots, and he whistles it wide. Chelios plays it over Corson's stick. McSorley gets to it, and he clears down the ice, and that puck skimmed off the shield of Guy Carbonneau.
Kenny Baumgartner, one time he played in Switzerland. When he went over there to maybe polish his skills a little bit. I wonder what the Swiss hockey fans saw of Bomber going around ramming into people like that.
Wow. A minute and a half remaining on the interference call to Baumgartner. 9:16 left on the clock in the second period. The Kings have upped their lead to 3-0 on the goal by Kudelski. Gretzky has assisted in all 3 goals. Corson chips it in. Gosselin will stray to play it. Corson. Waters played him well. Carbonneau's over for the puck. Waters knocks it away. McDonough slaps it off the boards and down the ice.
You look at Montreal again, they just are a very predictable team. They don't have a lot of offense or a lot of creativity. You know what they're going to do. They just got to... Let's finish this thing right after.
Here's Carbonneau. Duchesne stepped in there to steal the pass. Waters had it taken away by Russ. Courtnall looks for Courtnall, and the pass jumped over his stick. Wayne Gretzky controls. Out he comes with 34 seconds left on the Kings penalty. Gretzky shoots, and he sails it over Waugh.
These guys are shooting kind of high at Waugh tonight. Wow. Nichols almost hit him right in the top of the head. Now Gretzky. I wonder if they're going to say, well, we got to loosen him up a little bit. Maybe get a little nervous throwing a few shots at his head. But again, going back to what Montreal, they're a very predictable team. They just got to out-execute you. They're not going to, pull any real offensive surprises. And they don't have a full lineup, but they're going to have to understand that the Strudelins and McPhees, they might not be around here for a long time, or even Lemieux. And those 3 were a very fine line over the years. But right now, Montreal is not doing anything to really impress me. That was one guy that can, and he has over the year. But right now, he's not. He had a bad bad start, and he's got to come back.
Pat Sajak with his fiance looking on, enjoying the action. He's had Wayne Gretzky in his show a few times. He's a big Kings fan. 7 seconds left on the penalty to Baumgartner, and the Kings send it down the ice. Herb, when the Canadiens have been effective with a man advantage, watching them through the years, they have been stacking the net pretty well, but they are nowhere near the net with a man advantage tonight.
No, their goals on the power play are really just tipping and screening and mucking and getting some rebounds. They haven't really beat you through some great passing type plays to try to set up some 2-on-1 situations or little picks or whatever and get some people running around and then go against the grain. Most of their power plays, and you pointed out, and the other one is maybe when they had Roche on the point and he just pulls the trigger on one of the great shots of the league.
Yeah, you get him back there, and you get a Corson bothering the goaltender out in front of the goal, or a Ryan Walter. That's, I'm sure, more to the liking of Pat Burns, but he's not seen that so far this evening as the Kings are back to full strength with their 3-0 lead intact.
I think the reality is going to set in Montreal this year that if they're going to miss some guys, they might as well say, hey, they're gone. Now we just got to get over it and go to work on it. But again, Montreal's style is not conducive, and we said this at the start of the game, so we're just not saying anything for obvious reasons right now. The style is not conducive coming from behind, but maybe it'll be one of these nights that will be proven wrong.
That's Naslund tries to get something started. His pass is picked off by Robinson. A delayed penalty upcoming against Montreal. This won't help their cause at all as Naslund controls. And we have a high stick indicated against the Canadiens. 3-0. The Kings are in front. You're watching the NHL on Sports Channel America.
Look at the frustrated Bobby Smith there. Just came up with 4 minutes with 7:11 in the second period, and that type of thing is going to maybe a real crucial point of this game right now for Montreal to get back in. You got a high sticking thing. Actually, he was just being pulled around by Stevie Kasper. I think the referee is saying, Bobby, you could have controlled your stick a little bit better like that. And you just swung the thing and you creased him, and Bobby had a few words. So now, if LA gets this one, they can put it away. But they were in the same situation the other night at Calgary and let Calgary off the hook. And Calgary came back from a 4-1 deficit. And Tommy Webster said, we can't play 45 minutes. It's got to be 60. And he wants it tonight, and they need it very bad.
Under 7 minutes to go in the second period. The Kings continue their pressure in the Montreal zone and now have the power play for 4 minutes. Waugh banks the puck away as Krushelnyski gets it to Tonelli. They have Gretzky behind the net now. Nichols feeds Duchesne. Nichols to Krushelnyski. Walter comes in to take a shot at Tonelli as Nichols. Over to Duchesne. Well, the King bench is up and watching intently as Gretzky shoots, and the shot was blocked by Ludwig, and the pile up in the net begins with the net pushed away. Waugh in the net, and Chelios got involved there with Krushelnyski.
Chris Chelios just coming off a big contract, and he broke the bank up in Montreal. I think this is the highest contract Montreal has ever paid at least one of their defensemen and maybe any of their players. But again, he had that type of year last year, winning the Norris Trophy as the National Hockey League's outstanding defenseman, and he just took Krushelnyski into the net, over and above Patrick Waugh, and just kept on pushing. We're hoping he'll get that whistle.
Waugh was wondering what the heck was going on there.
He couldn't see too much on that situation. But Chelios, you've probably read about his contract that he signed this year. More power to him.
Well, many hockey fans, Herb, are certainly aware that Rick Green has come out and said a couple of things that maybe he'd like to come out of retirement, and maybe after looking at Chelios' contract, maybe he figures he could get a little money inducement to come back. I
don't know if he's going to come out in Montreal. I think they're pretty well in agreement. They've got to break in some young kids back there, and this is the year they're going to do it.
Raisler's pass deflected. It still reaches Nichols. Gretzky reaches for it, but Chelios got it away to Guy Carbonneau. 2:49 left on the Smith double minor. The Canadiens shorthanded as Carbonneau trying to make something happen. A sprawling Gosselin makes the save.
Now here's a little communication between two defensemen, Larry Robinson and Peter Preisler. Nobody took him. There's one got to take him, one's got to back off. Courtnall saw that little seam there, little hole, he jumped right into it. Mr. Robinson, I guess he wasn't speaking Czechoslovakia to say Peter up or back or whatever, but they got caught parallel. And Courtnall with his great legs can split the defenseman. That'd been a big goal for Montreal.
Robinson, hounded by Chelios. The pass is intercepted. Keane sends it ahead to Brent Gilchrist. Preisler's back. Preisler stumbles. Here's Keane cutting in. Shoots. Saved by Gosselin. The rebound is behind the net. And we get a penalty called upcoming as Gosselin goes down. The net went flying. And let's see what Schick has in mind with 1:56 remaining on the second half of the Smith double minor.
Chris Chelios entered that offensive zone trying to make it the 3-on-3 situation down deep. And he'll do that very well, as Duchesne will do it very well for Los Angeles. And I think Peter Preisler came in late and realized he got beat, and he was not feeling too good about himself after Courtnall sort of turned him inside out, and he took a run at him. And I believe it was Peter. If we can take a look on the other side, I think it was Preisler just pushed him at the end, pushed him in and over Mario Gosselin. Chelios is looking up. Now that takes L.A. out of that all-important power play situation. And again, sometimes a power play, Rick, will get a little lazy, especially when you're up 3-0. All of a sudden, you got a 4-minute power play, and sometimes you stay out too long, and you get a little lazy. An aggressive penalty-killing team can draw you into something and sort of negate things. And a referee, let's face it, a referee is looking for a way to even up. He doesn't like to give 4-minute power plays. And I think L.A. just fell asleep, didn't execute right, maybe change that power play 2 or 3 times to be fresh, so those things don't happen. I think Tommy Webster, those are the things he's talking about, the mental intensity and the sharpness they have to display, not also just the physical intensity.
Gosselin was shaken up in that collision, but as you see, he's all right. Both teams down a man for 1:56. That's the time remaining on the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty to Bobby Smith. 5 minutes to go in the second period. Los Angeles leads 3-0. Steve Duchesne won the battle for the puck, and he feeds Casper. Casper is paired with Kudelski. Kudelski has the third Los Angeles goal. Dufresne with a pass around. Daigneault gives it to Corson. He's shoved to the boards by the very sturdy Tom Laidlaw. Laidlaw battles to get it away to Kudelski. Casper takes his time. Starts in against Dufresne. Kings want to change up. Gretzky comes on. Robinson and Waters back defensively. Corson leaving it for Courtnall. Shooting, he scores! Russ Courtnall blasts it by Gosselin to get Montreal on the board.
That's a very important goal, obviously, for Montreal. Brings them within 2 and a 2-goal lead. As I said earlier, Rick, is a very difficult one to protect. But that was a good play here by Montreal. You see these 4-on-4 situations that open up the ice a little bit. And again, just a little crossing by Bobby Smith as he dropped the puck for Courtnall with his great speed and his ability to shoot a puck. He jumps in the hole and he really drilled it. And again, nice play. I didn't say Bobby. I didn't mean to say Bobby Smith. A shame Corson. Schick got hurt down into the corner a little earlier. Montreal took advantage of a Los Angeles defensive miscue, Rick. When the defenseman starts cutting across in front of the partner, now all of a sudden one offensive player has brought 2 defensive players over to one side and opened up an alley for somebody to jump into. Once a player cuts across, if you're a defenseman, he cuts across, turn him over to your partner, stay in your side, and pick up those trailers. And I think this is a textbook thing, how not to do it, and also how to execute that thing. That was an excellent play by Montreal, and something I don't think that Rick Wilson, the defensive coach from Los Angeles, is going to be very happy with.
Now Corson and Daigneault set up that play. Courtnall scores his 7th goal. He has 4 goals in his last 4 games. He's one Canadian who has been scoring, and the goal comes at 15:44. 36 seconds left on the Smith penalty. 40 seconds to go on the Preisler cross-checking call. 3:40 remaining in the second period. 3-1 now Los Angeles leads as Carbonneau starts it in against Robinson. Carbonneau waits for Richer to break, and he couldn't get the pass. It's shoveled away by Gosselin.
We'll see if this goal here from Montreal picks them up a little bit, inspires them, and see if they can just finish very strong in the last 3.5 minutes.
Saint-Lefebvre with a pass ahead for Courtnall. Canadiens will have a very brief power play as LeBeau gets the pass from Courtnall. Smith is back on. The pass in front by LeBeau, and Courtnall couldn't tap it home. Now Preissler's out of the box. The teams are finally back to full strength. And Preissler has the puck. Under 3 minutes to go in the period. The pass is ruled offside to Gretzky.
Okay. Good look at Marty McSorley, just the exact opposite of Peter Preissler. I don't think Marty would have thrown that pass up to Gretzky like that, but there's a place for Marty McSorley in this hockey club.
He heads for the corner with Mike Keane. John Tonelli battles for control along the boards. He's hemmed in a bit by the hustling Keane. Keane gets some help from Gilchrist. Kadelsky clears that Los Angeles zone. Greg Ludwig has Naslund waiting on left wing. Three Kings are back defensively as Naslund turns. He finds Chelios at the point, wrists it toward the net, and it's deflected by Laidlaw into the crowd. We have a sellout throng on hand for this one. 16,005, the fifth sellout for the Kings this season.
For Chelios, that's what he has to do, and he hasn't done it so far this evening. He's been really lax in his defensive zone when the play leaves his defensive zone. He's a great offensive defenseman. He has to get up into the play. This evening, Montreal has taken their three forwards, Rick, and turning them over against 5 Los Angeles players. So they've been outnumbered all the time. Montreal's defensemen have been very, very, lax and static amongst their getting into the flow in the offensive play.
Now let's look at the success of the Canadiens in the last 20 years. Montreal with 7 Stanley Cup championships. The Lakers certainly have ruled in this building for a long time. The Kings want a share of the pie as Bernie Nichols is out with 2:08 remaining here in the second period. He'll work between Robitaille and Taylor.
This has been a good line tonight. They haven't had a lot to show for it as a threesome. Robitaille scoring, but Bernie Nichols coming off that year last year with 70 goals. What a year he had, Rick. Unbelievable. Everything he touched just, lit up for him.
And he's off to a big start this season with 12 goals. Here's Shane Corson leaving it for Carbonneau. It's dug away by Robitaille. Chelios is there. His pass ends up with Stéphane Richer. Richer is pushed off the puck, and Nichols lobs it out. Ludwig has the play under control as Taylor steps into the Montreal zone. Taylor trying to fight off a check from Chelios. Nichols leaves it in the corner. Robitaille reaches it. Richer takes it back for the Canadiens. 1:20 to go in the period. Richer with a big drive. It's blocked. Corson overskates the puck. And Taylor with a pass ahead for Robitaille. He's in alone. He shoots. He scores! And the Kings are back in front by 3. It's 4-1.
Luc Robitaille, they don't call him lucky for nothing. And he's got just the knack for those open nets in these open holes. Dave Taylor just makes a great pass. I thought it was not going to get onside, but he went right through the 5-hole there. He waited for Raw to go down, and he's going down, he buried it on him. Now, Raw should have been out a little bit and coming back, but again, he saw him flat-footed, and he started to go down, he buried it. Robitaille, 2 big goals this evening. Receiving a great pass from Dave Taylor. I thought he was just going to pass it and panic just before he got into the neutral zone, but he had enough presence of mind to get in the neutral zone, and more importantly, Robitaille just held up to give him that little opening that needed to jump into it. You watch Robitaille right now. He breaks himself, puts his feet there, and again, he caught Patrick Waugh flat-footed. And when you see that, then he was just going to bury it in that 5-hole. As I said before, Waugh will go down, but he's got to time it right. If he doesn't, you'll find that 5-hole open.
Robitaille with his second of the night, his 10th on the season from Taylor at 18:50, and it's 4-1 Kings with under a minute to go in the second period. And Robitaille demonstrates the scoring touch that got him 46 goals last year and scored 53 2 years ago.
Then you hear that he might be traded. You hear he's going to Quebec. You hear that Duchesne might go with him. And I said, geez, LA doesn't have a lot of young hockey players, and that's going to take a lot out of their hockey club. But they've got to win it now. And if they say, well, if we can get a Stastny, talk about it, or Goulet, who knows?
Bob Kudelski plays it back to McSorley. Shoots, and a save by Waugh.
And
Play is halted as the net's knocked away, Herb.
Rick, and then you start wondering, they just pick up Ryan Benning from St. Louis, an offensive defenseman. Now I start to say, geez, will that free up a Duchesne to make that move to get us somebody else they need up front or something? Because, again, this is a now situation here in L.A. The Gretzky era is now in the next 2 to 3 years, and maybe I'm stretching it when I say 3 years. Might have to be a little sooner than that. And they've got to find a way to get it, and especially they've got to find somebody on the right side of Gretzky.
Courtnall's off to the races as Laidlaw is back. Courtnall shoots, and the puck was bouncing, and the shot ended up over the net. Courtnall had it taken away by McSorley. Now the Kings did pick up Ryan Benning from the Blues for a draft pick yesterday. Here's a shot for the point. Gosselin was out to stop it. Walter with a rebound, and Gosselin makes the stop. Ryan Walter shoots, and it's knocked down in front. McSorley couldn't cover the puck. 7 seconds left in the period. Courtnall had it knocked away by Gosselin. Courtnall shoots, and he sends it wide. And the period will come to an end just in the nick of time for the Los Angeles Kings as the Canadiens are trying to get back once again. With the puck, it's Craig Ludwig. With a pass for Shane Corson. Larry Robinson holds up the Montreal rush, and Chelios leaves it for Stephane Richer. E. Carbonneau with a pass, knocked away by Allison. Richer gets it back, shoots, and Gosselin got his blocker on it. Robinson ties up with Corson in that corner. Allison and Richer in there as well. Here's Preisler out of the corner, and he'll just slide it down the ice. We'll have an icing call. The goaltender Waugh played it, and so there's no icing. Looks like the Kings are the team with the speed tonight. Corson puts it out in front. It's deflected away by Gosselin. Here's Gretzky lifting it ahead for Robitaille. Kings want to change up. Peter Svoboda. With a pass taken away by Nichols. We're a minute into play here in the third. Dave Taylor makes his move on young defenseman Sylvain Lefebvre centers, and he just missed Robitaille breaking toward the net. Russ Courtnall steams ahead. He has Gilchrist with him. Brent Gilchrist shoots. A glove save by Mario Gosselin. Walter is decked by Laidlaw. Robitaille makes the pass to McSorley. And the play is whistled offside. Waters with a wrist shot. It's tipped. Comes down to Peter Svoboda. He shovels it away. Rob Schick had a rough night. He was injured late in the second period, and he was ducking for his life there. Duchesne shoots. Glove by Waugh. And he doesn't hesitate at this point to get a whistle.
That's a good play. Don't throw it back in the traffic like that. Again, when you have some offensive defense, like we see a couple good ones in here tonight, and that's one of them right now. Look at Duchesne. Forwards out there have got to pick him up. Montreal, Chelios can do the same thing. One thing with Waugh there, he didn't have any obstructions, and he was able to see the puck. Again, that fourth player, that defenseman entering that offensive zone, have to be picked up. And the way some of these defensemen read that thing, and that they can skate and handle a puck, they're very dangerous.
Waugh takes another stoppage in play with John Tonelli breathing down his neck. Patrick Waugh, who lifetime against the Kings has enjoyed a lot of success at 6-2.
You know, a lot of things that I've watched tonight, you can tell some telltale signs of people ready. Face-offs. You look at now, let me come back to that. We look at some of the draft choices there of Montreal. First choice, generally, you know, pretty good. And drafting is difficult. It's not an exact science by any means, and it's a difficult thing to come up with that right 18-year-old.
And the Canadiens have had a lot of good fortune with picks in the second, third, and even deeper into the drafts. Some of those later rounds. Here's Duchesne with a shot that's blocked. It's poked away by Casper. He gets the puck back again. 2-on-1 with Tonelli. Casper to Tonelli, and the puck's off the heel of his stick. He winds it wide of the goal mouth. Robinson with a nice move. Feeds Kudelski. Shoots. A save as it hit Daigneault in front. Mike Keane hands it to Smith. Here's Naslund on the move. Dropping it for Smith. Looking for Naslund, cutting toward the net, but Preisler had him under control. 3 minutes gone here in the third. The Kings have a 3-goal advantage. Robinson winds his way in. He's had his way with his old team tonight. Larry facing the Canadiens for the first time. Here's Chelios. Wrists it on goal. It's played away by Gosselin. Wayne Gretzky starts it up ice. Allison and Robinson are with him. 3-on-2. Gretzky hangs on, shoots, stick save, and the rebound is played away by Ludwig.
That just shows the intensity of Montreal tonight. That was a 3-on-2, and the 3 Montreal forwards are caught, and they didn't come back, didn't get their head to come back. The thing that I saw earlier in the first 5 minutes and throughout this game, the little things, the loose pucks. One of the things, LA has won the vast majority of faceoffs this evening, showing again the intensity and how they're bearing down and how much this game means to them.
Carbonneau's pass taken away by Krushelnyski, who's had a triumphant return to the Los Angeles lineup. He missed a lot of time with that fractured left wrist, and he has a goal in this game.
Talk about the intensity and the intelligence of LA. They're changing 2 to every one of Montreal's changes on the ice. They're always got fresh people, and they're always keeping that tempo up there, and they just, again, don't want to let Montreal get back into this game through any type of laziness.
Shane Corson with a pass dug away by Waters. He has Robitaille heading up ice, surrounded by red jerseys. The pass to Taylor, poked away by Svoboda. Taylor gets it back. Had to stick handle around a loose stick and couldn't get the shot underway as the Canadiens clear the zone. They want a line change. Icing is waved off. Duchesne moves it up ice quickly to the veteran Taylor. He skips the pass by Nichols. This will be icing against Los Angeles. 15:05 left in the third. It's 4-1. The Kings in front. The Kings have the 4-1 lead. Robitaille with a couple of goals. One on the power play. Krushelnyski and Kudelski have also scored. Russ Courtnall has the Montreal goal in this game. And the trends we talked about for these clubs coming into this contest certainly are reversing, as the Kings had lost 7 of 9, 4 straight overall, 4 in a row here at the Great Western Forum. And the Canadiens had lost only once in 8 games, 5 wins and 2 ties in that stretch. Courtnall looks for Lefebvre, and it's dug away by Nichols. Around for Steve Duchesne. He has 3 teammates breaking. Here's Nichols. The pass deflected by Gilchrist just wide. Robitaille trying to put it in front. Taylor digs for it. Puck is in the goal mouth. Wass trying to find it. It comes loose to Gilchrist. Walter hits Courtnall, busting up ice, but Waters was right there.
Montreal has to go for some long passes. They've got to take some chances. They've got to try to open up the game a little bit, play maybe a half-court game. They got to do something just, again, to put LA on its heels, and they haven't done that, and LA keeps closing the gap. It's a little chess game right here, right now, and Montreal forwards have no holes to jump into because the LA defense moving up and taking those holes away. And therefore, maybe someone's got to get out there, look for the long pass, and, you know, again, if they don't do it, I don't see Los Angeles getting caught into the trap they had here last Wednesday against Calgary, when it was about this time when they had a 4-1 lead, and they let that game get away from them.
Here's Naslund cutting in. He scores! Naslund slipped it by Gosselin with a burst of speed that we really haven't seen from him tonight. But he cuts the lead to 4-2.
Well, that's right. That's good, Rick. You said it entirely right. We haven't seen it. And I'm sorry I tied your hands a little bit that way, but you call that one right. We haven't seen Naslund do that. And I said he had one foot in Sweden almost. But, boy, he jumped into that hole that they said they had to try to create. He got a nice pass. Johnny Tonelli came back. And, again, when Naslund is going, very few people can get him. You can't stick check him like they tried to do there. You've got to really take the bottom of that. Now, this is very similar to the other night. You always could feel the crowd, just say, uh-oh, we're going to see a replay on this thing.
Naslund scores his fifth at 6:27. Keene gets an assist. And Daniel picks up his second assist of the night. Time is still on the Canadian side. 13-12 remaining here in the third. But they have a long way to go. Play is whistled down offside.
Well, we talked about the importance of jumping in the holes, trying to put the importance to use some speed, and one guy can do it. That's Naslund. And boy, he did there. He just broke a check there of Johnny Tonelli. And the weak side defenseman, or in this case the right defenseman, L.A., didn't cover and couldn't adjust to it. And maybe that's a little turning point that Montreal can build upon.
We'll see what happens. Casper bumps Richer. Carbonneau gets it to Corson. Pat Burns juggling things up in the forward lines, trying to generate some offense. His team is down 2 goals. Carbonneau wins that battle, comes out. The backhander's kicked out by Gosselin, and out comes John Tonelli. He rumbles into that Montreal zone, fans at his pass, and Ludwig has his feet intercepted by Casper. Nichols comes off the LA bench. McSorley stumbles. He was dumped there by Richer. Here's Chris Chelios. He swerves in. Laidlaw lines him up. The pass dribbles away to the corner. Corson lost his edge. Svoboda holds up the Kings rush. Peter Svoboda, who broke in with Larry Robinson back in 1984. Robinson now finds him breaking in another young Czechoslovakian defenseman named Peter, and Peter Preisler here in Los Angeles. The pass around to the point. Lefebvre kept it in. Puck bounces to Courtnall. Looks for Walter in front. Robitaille was in good position defensively. He's not had a bad defensive game tonight, Herb, and he's not noted for that. Here's a shot by LeBeau. It's gloved by Gosselin. And he'll hang on for the whistle.
Look at the Los Angeles bench. Assistant coach Rick Wilson came over this year from the New York Islanders. And he used to play for the Montreal Canadiens.
That's right.
You'll recall that. Former University of North Dakota player and also an assistant coach there. And a lot of people think he will be the next coach at the University of Minnesota, North Dakota.
You're going to start some rumors now.
No, he'll be going back to North Dakota.
Here's Svoboda heading up ice. He misses Courtnall. No icing. Gosselin comes out to play the puck. Stephane LeBeau. Preisler ties up Courtnall. Walter chips it away to LeBeau. Peter Preisler steals, hands it away. Courtnall shoots, he scores! Zing, in and out of the net just like that, and the Canadiens are down 1.
I don't know, that Courtnall, ever since that goal he got, he's been flying ever since that, and he's been putting himself in the position for some good opportunities. And he got a little gift there. Peter Preisler tried to get up to Wayne Gretzky, could not get it up there. Case in point now, instead of giving the puck away deep in your defensive zone, you might as well freeze the puck, get a face-off, or reverse the puck, and don't throw it up in traffic. Couldn't get to Gretzky. Courtnall picked up and really got some good wood on it and went right under the right arm of Mario Gosselin. When you're in trouble, let me repeat, freeze the puck or reverse the puck. So they have to stop it, catch it, pass it, and then shoot it, and don't let them get a direct shot off an errant pass, and that's a case in point right there.
10.5 remaining in the third period, and the lead is 4-3 Los Angeles. Bobby Smith sends it in off Keene's skate. Gosselin out to play the puck. Tonelli comes back to help out defensively. Bob Kudelski with a pass by Casper's stick. Donald Dufresne chops it to Smith. Kudelski bunted it away. Casper stick handles into the Montreal zone. Tonelli busts toward the net. The try is stopped by Waugh, and before he could jam it in, the net is moved away for the Magnets. That's going to the net right there.
New life on that bench right there, Rick. 4-3, 9:57. And again, it's a situation that LA is saying, are we going to get a repeat from the other night? And they've got to be going through their mind after the type of hockey they've been playing, losing 7-9, 4 straight. The best thing they can do right now is don't turn anything over to that offensive blue line. Maybe they want to adjust their game a little bit now. Maybe they should play a little more of a dump and chase thing and make sure that all the rushes up ice, it's a rush to forecheck, go back. Stay in that rhythm now for a while and make Montreal make the super play. Don't give them any cheap ones.
Carbonneau's pass was blocked. Richer works the corner against Laidlaw. And Richer grabs the puck. Looks for a man in front. Corson shoots, and a save by Gosselin. Corson again takes a look. And Carbonneau down in front of the net. The pass was intercepted by McSorley. Dave Taylor sends the pass to Nichols. From the angle, he sends it wide. Carbonneau out for Richer. Corson's with him. Corson takes the pass. Richer out in front. They score! Gosselin dove for the puck. Richer tapped it in, and the Canadiens have bounced back to tie the game at 4.
Well, I'm telling you, we were here Wednesday night for Sports Channel America with that Calgary game, and it was the same thing, and it's the same reaction of fans to booing. And that's got to just drive LA nuts. What happened here is a good 2-on-2 situation. A little miscue here by the LA defenseman. They got chasing a little bit. Marty McSorley again. Put yourself between the man and the puck the best you can, especially this guy. And he's coming off a bad year last year. He had 52 years ago. Last year he only had 25. He's got to get back on track. He's maybe a throwback to the flamboyant Frenchman that can skate and shoot a puck. Good play here right now by Los Angeles, taking a timeout. They got to regroup. There's a guy, Rick Wilson, there facing us. Assistant coach of Los Angeles Kings is going to spend some time with his defensemen because they're chasing and cutting in front of one another, and it's caused just a little miscue as opposed to maybe drawing an imaginary line right down the middle. Say, I'm going to stay on my side. I'm going to play more of a zone type of defense instead of a worry about a man-for-man and wait for my forwards to come back and fill up and help me out. And a couple of defensive miscues brought Montreal right back into this game.
8:34 remaining here in the third period. Canadiens have put together 3 goals in 4.5 minutes to tie the game. Gilchrist shoots, and it's blocked by Waters. The pass is knocked away as Courtnall lost it to Wayne Gretzky. He misses Robinson cutting out of the zone. Both teams reorganize. They want to get some new players on the ice. And Courtnall backhands the puck in deep. Kings get the Robitaille, Taylor, and Gretzky unit on. Duchesne comes out on the defense. Canadiens move it along to Mike Keane. Here's Smith swerving in. He'll shoot, a stick save by Gosselin. Duchesne backhands the puck to center ice. That'll do Frame. Gives it to Mike Keane. Aslan cuts in. Runs out of room against Laidlaw. Pushes it back to the point. Dufresne shoots. It's knocked down in front. Duchesne had tied up Mike Keane. Aslan keeps the play alive for the Canadiens. Robitaille digs the puck free along the boards, and he sends it across to Steve Duchesne. Duchesne puts on the brakes. His pass is knocked down. It dribbles to Nichols. Shoots, a save by Waugh. Krushelnyski and the rebound, and Patrick Waugh makes a glove save.
Boy, that's a highlight film save right there, Rick. And I'm telling you, Krushelnyski jumped on that loose puck. Bernie Nichols got good one. Krushelnyski's first game back after that bad wrist injury. And I tell you, he sort of just got some wood on the thing, took a swipe at it, and Roy somehow came up with a great glove save on that thing. And that would have broke their back with 7:13. A picture of Mr. McNall is saying, I don't know, it's worth all these millions I put out. But he's a great owner, and the players love the guy, and he's really supported his hockey club and the fans and everything else. And as Tony Robinson said between periods, you got to win one for him.
Well, he's seen this movie before. Just over 7 minutes to go in the third period, and the shot is turned away by Waugh. The try by Kudelski. Waters trying to put it in front. He'll try again, and he just misses the net. Robinson keeps the play in the zone. He had it dug free by Carbonneau and down the ice.
Bobby Smith coming over. He got a great shot, and Mario Goslin made a great save to prevent that fifth goal for Montreal.
Waugh steps out to play the puck. Leaves it for Chelios. Now the crowd starts chanting, "Let's go Kings." Here's the outlet by Richer, by everybody. Robinson has to hurry back, and Goslin lost his stick as he played the puck away. Corson came by and knocked the stick away. Goslin without his stick, but the pass is stolen by Tonelli. He'll push it in. Gretzky hits the ice. Krushelnyski and Allison are with him. A save off the boards for Ryan Walter. It'll be icing if the Kings win the race, and Laidlaw does. Icing called against the Canadiens. Time is now a factor. 6:03 remaining in the third period. Montreal with goals from Naslund, Courtnall, and Richer. Well, she's not too nervous about this game just yet. Canadiens win the faceoff. The game's tied at 4. Pass in front. Krushelnyski stop. Allison shoots. He scores!
Defensive zone faceoffs are so important. Not only winning the draw, but just the proper alignment and the proper staying with your men. And again, Montreal just did not cover their people right from the draw. Mike Allison was the recipient of a rebound, and nobody picked him up. And again, just popped it over, and Roy elected to maybe do a little deck save, which he does not do that often. He usually goes into a V, and a V maybe he would have had that. But a deck save, Allison had enough upstairs.
Courtnall shoots, and it's blocked by Laidlaw. Krushelnyski back to play the puck. Krushelnyski gets the only assist on Allison's first point of the season. At 14:04, it's a 5-4 Los Angeles lead, and Krushelnyski tries to calm things down at his own end. Takes his time, and he'll chip it in deep in the Montreal zone. Robitaille, Nichols, Taylor, Robinson, and Waters come on for the Kings. Daniel is hounded by Nichols. Daniel moves it along to Mike Keane. He'll be joined now by Bobby Smith in a quick change. The young defensemen are out there for Montreal, Dufresne and Daniel. 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Taylor. Back to Waters, shooting, and he fires it wide. Naslund has it. Draws the attention of a couple of Kings, and Robitaille took the drop pass. Chelios gets it away for Montreal. Chris Chelios drives it in. Goslin has time to come out and do what he wants with it. He'll lift it around for Bob Kudelski. Kudelski takes his time. He has a line change going on behind him. Finally, he has to give it up to Chelios. Naslund scoots ahead. He started this Montreal comeback. Bobby Smith looks for Richer in front, and that pass was snared by Goslin. Here's Tonelli. 4 minutes to go in the third. Gets it to McSorley. He lumbers out with Tonelli. John Tonelli skips it by Casper's stick. McSorley's pass is deflected by Smith, and it's backhanded by Waugh. He'll take a whistle.
There's a lot of hockey left, Rick, obviously, with 3:50. But it would be kind of a shame if LA doesn't come out with a couple of points tonight, because other than that, just, well, maybe that 3-minute segment there. And Naslund scores at 6:27, Courtnall at 9:22, and Richer at 10:57. 5 minutes there, got away from him. But again, Tommy Webster, the LA coach, is talking about we need 60 minutes, not 45 or not 50, whatever. And every coach in the league will be saying the same thing, obviously. But again, LA deserves a better fate the way they played the first two periods. But then again, you got to give credit to Montreal for hanging in there and looking for the little break. And Naslund gave them that jump start that they needed.
Courtnall and Richer followed with goals to tie the game before Allison put in a rebound. Guy Carbonneau Forced wide by Duchesne. Laidlaw back for the puck. He's double teamed. Corson centers, and it's deflected out to the blue line. Daigneault shoots, and the puck was tipped. It just dribbled wide. Gosselin was looking the other way. Dufresne in from the point. In for Corson. Looks for somebody in front. Richer with a pass. Digs it away from Duchesne. Slips it to Carbonneau. Dufresne wrists it toward the net. It's tipped wide. Krushelnyski plays it to Allison. Gretzky was looking for a pass at center, but his Kings are in trouble. Here's a pass tipped by Duchesne. Corson plays it back to Carbonneau. Fires in front. It's off Gosselin's stick as Richer was right in the crease with him. Richer tumbles to the ice. And Daigneault will give chase. Taylor is dumped on a collision with Corson as the teams were changing up in neutral ice. Stéphane Lebeau gives up the puck to Robinson. Waters ahead to Robitaille.
LA's problems. And that first forward back in the defensive zone, he's got to do a better job staying with his man, staying with the check. He's been too lax. You don't want to see Gretzky back in traffic, but you got to see Allison or Krushelnyski, and that almost cost him that tying goal here. Montreal had control, and it looks like they were going to get that a great scoring opportunity.
Chelios with a pass to Courtnall. Courtnall shoots, and he fires it wide. The rebound comes out to Ludwig at center. Here's Chelios, pressured by Robitaille, who has a couple of goals. Robinson spins away from Stéphane Lebeau. 1:50 to go here in the third. Kings are interested in occupying Waugh's time in that net. They don't want to see him slip off to the bench. Nichols keeps it in, goes to Gretzky. Gretzky throws it in front. Nichols shoots it. It's stopped by Waugh. Chelios works it away with 1:27 to go in the third. Canadiens down one. Here's Naslund speeding through. He took his eye off the puck and lost it to Laidlaw. Courtnall gets it to Naslund. Across for it, Donald Dufresne. Waugh looks toward the bench. He stays put for the moment. Gretzky has it. 1:09 to go. The pass up the middle, nearly picked off. Gretzky has it again. And the Kings get fresh legs on the ice with a minute to go. Canadiens want to get it in deep, and now Waugh goes to the bench. Corson will be the extra man on. Mike Keane trying to center. He's muscled away from the net by McSorley. Here's Bobby Smith trying to stuff it home. The pass is in the goal mouth, and it's worked away by Waters. 40 seconds to go. Kasper backhands it out to center. Daigneault handles the puck, and apparently the puck was deflected with a stick above the shoulder, and no one in the building could hear the whistle. Certainly not the players. And the Canadiens will try to get him to the bench quickly. They will have Carbonneau, Lefebvre, Richer, Chelios on the ice, Corson. As the five skaters on, the Kings have Krushelnyski, Kasper, Gretzky, Laidlaw, and Duchesne. 33 seconds remaining.
And they're putting Duchesne out there, a little bit more mobility than taking Larry Robinson off. You might think it would be different.
Richer has the puck. Waugh goes to the bench. Carbonneau cuts in. Had trouble with a bouncing puck. Courtnall's the extra man on. And the pass is knocked down with a high stick for the Kings. Control. So play continues. 15 seconds to go. Duchesne has the puck. He'll angle it off the boards. No icing, and Lefebvre will have to go back to play it. Kasper steals the pass as Kasper lobs it toward the net, and the horn sounds, and the sellout crowd of 16,005 celebrates.